Good morning. Happy Sunday. It's the Sunday before Christmas, and I hope that you all are ready. If you're not, then you have today, tomorrow, and maybe even Christmas Eve to get those gifts purchased and wrapped and under the tree for your loved ones. I think I'm done. I just need to wrap everything, so I don't have to go anywhere. So I'm in the kind of Christmas spirit. As you can see, I'm wearing my one of my race hoodies, a race called the Santa Hustle, which was run in downtown Milwaukee. I ran that a couple of years ago and got this nice little red hoodie. And it even says on the side of it, it's a Santa Hustle on this sleeve, and on the back, which you'll probably see on the stream later, it says I will run for cookies. So yeah, fun times, good spirits, good mood. I'm off work until January 2nd. So all next week, I got nothing else to do but sit around down here and play some arcade games. So I'm happy about that. I got some projects I'm going to work on. I got some artwork coming for some build-acades. So I'm going to be doing at least 2 within the next week. And, we'll go from there. The couple of pieces of artwork that I've got coming in are Centipede and Time Pilot. And as you can see back over my shoulder, I realize this isn't a very good camera. So it's the TV behind me is kind of a little bit washed out, as is my Let's Go sign. But I have Time Pilot running in the background there. So one of my favorite all-time games ever. And if Arcade1Up did kind of put Time Pilot on a machine, it was a Frogger. Arcade1Up, which I never got, and I'm always looking out for it on Marketplace, but it never shows up around here. So would have loved to have that Frogger cabinet, even if the music was wrong on Frogger. Would have loved to have it for the Time Pilot that was on it. So, but I'm going to build my own GRS Build-Acade Time Pilot probably this week. So, what has happened? Well, this past week, we got a lot of snow on Thursday, and I know Danny's in the chat. I'm sure down in his area, he only got like 4 or 5 inches, but up here in Hartford, we got walloped. And just to show you a few pictures of my neighborhood, this was actually during the storm, and after I had gotten through at 2:30 a.m. with my 2:30 a.m. shoveling, and it was still coming down, so I still had a little bit more shoveling to do later. But we got 10 inches in Hartford, so we got socked, and yeah, good times. So that it's a white Christmas for us. It's going to warm up this week, so a lot of this snow is going to be melted by the end of next weekend. So these pictures will not be true within about a week. A lot of this snow will probably already be gone. So. Yep, I shovel by hand because it's good exercise. I do have a snowblower, but I haven't used it in like 2 or 3 years. So yeah, and there you can see, I measured this in, usually the National Weather Service likes you, when you do an official measurement, they like you to do it in 3 different places of the yard. So I did do that. This is my 3rd measurement, and they were at or close to 9 inches. And I'm sure we went over 9 inches because this was taken while it was still snowing. So we got quite a bit. quite a bit of shoveling work. Wore out my shoulder, shoveling all of this stuff. And of course, the Hartford plows like to plow my driveway in, so it's always a chore. I like to get out there as soon as they do it, because if that stuff freezes, you guys that are in snowy regions, you know what I'm talking about. The plows will plow in your driveway, and if you wait a few hours and that stuff freezes, you got to get ice picks out to get your driveway cleared. So yeah, fun times. Beautiful. I almost did a run during all this. I almost went up because I like to do at least one snowy run and Christmas light run a year. I haven't done either. So I could have gotten both in the night that this storm occurred, but I didn't. I was kind of dead beat that night, so I didn't do it. Even my gal thought I was nuts for trying to go out and running in this. So, but anyway, that was the snow. Let's take a look at the chat, see who's here. Ted Adam Green is here. Welcome. Always good to see you in the chat. Hockey Down Arcade is here. Good morning to you, sir. And I hope you all have a Merry Christmas in your family. Danny says that they've already unwrapped presents. Well, Merry Christmas to you. I hope you got plenty of good things, and I hope your wife and kids got plenty of decent, nice toys to play with. And I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. Let's see. Chaotic is here. Welcome. Good to see you. I saw your stream the other night with the awards, and that was a great stream. Let's see. Thumper Squid is here. Always good to see you in the chat, Thumper. Welcome. And let's see who else is here. Yeah, shoveling. I'm going to tell you a secret. I actually like shoveling. So anybody that lives near me wants me to come over to shovel there. I sometimes do my neighbors, part of his sidewalk too. So he doesn't have to do it. Retired firefighter. He's getting up there in age. So, help out your neighbors whenever stuff like this happens, But I do like to shovel. Good exercise. I don't recommend heavy wet snow for guys getting up there in age and with weak hearts, because we've already had it happen this year. A couple of people have died from shoveling. So it is a cardiac intensive exercise, and know your heart before you go out there and do it. Otherwise, use a snowblower like most every other sane person does. Not too slippery to run. No. I have crimps or things that I can put over my running shoes that help me gain traction in snow. So it's just one of those things that runners purchase and have on hand if they want to do weather-related running, either on ice or on snow. Those things help dig into the ice and the snow and help get you a good grip. So I haven't worn those in a few years. I don't like to run in the cold weather too much anymore because my lungs after COVID can't take it. So, but I still do it because I like to get out in snowy weather, because let me tell you, and you guys know what I'm talking about in snowy climates. You get out there and, when it's really coming down, you can sense a quietness. You can't hear anything because the snow deadens the sound. So it's just a peaceful time. So when I do these snowy runs, I typically leave my headphones at home and I just run without any music. I just run and listen to the quiet. Normally that's a pain for me because I have bad tinnitus and ringing of the ears. So when it's quiet, it's usually bad for me. But yeah. So on those snowy runs, I really like to absorb the quiet atmosphere that snow falling gives you. So anywho, what else is going on? What's going on in the Crossdeck Arcade? Well, I did do a community post earlier in the week, in which I showed you that you can see it over my my right shoulder there in the back, the box for the class of 81. We're going to build that today. It's the second time that I've had class of 81 in the Crossdeck Arcade. And as you know, as you folks know, I went through some pretty intense times financially in which I needed to get rid of some cabs to pay off some high ticket things that cropped up. So refused to go into debt for those things. So arcade had to go. So parts of the arcade did. And you all saw me get down to just one wall, basically, one or two walls. And now the arcade's coming back really nice. Within probably the last 3 months alone, I've picked up the Galaga Deluxe, the Pac-Man Deluxe, the Dig Dug Legacy, the Joust Legacy, and Golden Tee. So I've added 5, and I'm going to add the 6th, the Class of '81, to the lineup today. So I'm going to stop, and those are famous last words, because assuming that there's no great deals out there between now and the next month or so, if a great deal pops up, I'm not going to say I'm not going to pick it up, but I'm going to take a kind of a break from buying Arcade1Ups, because my goal to help repopulate my arcade was to get back all of the ones that I had heavy nostalgia for. So I've pretty much done that. Now I'm thinking about games that I really would like to have, like X-Men, which of course sold out overnight. So you can't really find X-Men anywhere. There is one locally for sale that I'm kind of thinking about going to get. And then after X-Men, I kind of want the Yoga Flame back, because I love the artwork on that cabinet. So, but they're not a priority. They're low priority. Well, X-Men is it's a fun game, and I love to have it. So I'm really thinking about getting that X-Men back, but we'll see. It's a shame that it's sold out and that I sat on it. I just didn't want to pay $5.99 for it, and I don't think I'll have to. But who knows? What else is new? I've done a little bit of arcade decor rearranging. Moved some specifically on this table over here. I've brought the two GRS Build-A-Cades down from my office that I'd been working on. They're now part of my mini lineup over here. So I've got the Miss Pac-Man GRS Build-A-Cade and the Karate Champ GRS Build-A-Cade. And as I said, I'll be working on 2 more this week. And so they'll be added to the lineup. What I'm finding is I'm running out of USB ports, because I'm powering all those minis via that the New Wave Toys coin changer. So I'm thinking about getting a second coin changer, even though it's a lot more than what I paid for this one. But I need the USB ports for now to accommodate the amount of USB ports I have. I'm actually using a splitter off of one of those coin changer ports, so I can help power the other minis, and I'll call them all minis, even because it's a mixture of New Wave Toys and GRS Build-A-Cade. So over the winter, I'm going to be focusing on GRS Build-A-Cade and those projects. I don't anticipate getting any more Arcade1Up cabinets. Never say never. If a good deal comes up that I can't pass up, then I will jump on it, of course. I'm going to see what Synergy has in January after the holidays, see what they've had returned, and if they're willing to wheel and deal. We'll see about that. They do have 2 cabinets. They have a Yoga Flame there, which has been sitting there for a year now. That Yoga Flame arrived after last Christmas's returns, and it's been sitting opened. It's been repackaged, and they just haven't been able to sell it. So thinking about making an offer again, but the offer, the comebacks that they give me for that cabinet are just ridiculous. I wouldn't pay. They want me to pay $250 for that Yoga Flame when it's been repacked, and there's no guarantee in that box that something's wrong. So I'm not paying $250. So, and they have a Pac-Mania there. If they're willing to cut me a deal on the Pac-Mania, I might take the Pac-Mania as well. Don't need it. So it depends on how willing they are to deal. I might go see them before Christmas I'm sure they're open tomorrow. So since I'm off, I might go down there to Synergy and take a peek at what they have. We all went through the At Games fiasco this week. And many of you know that what caused that was some DNS work that they did or their provider did. I'm not sure which one is responsible. But James Hates Everything had put together a great video on what he believes happened. And what I believe happened is they had a problem with what's called the time to live, which is a setting that you put in DNS to basically tell other servers how long to cache certain entries before going out, sending a requester back out to the server hosting that record to get it back. And so James, if you haven't seen James's video, go to his channel, check that video out. It's a great explanation, and even kind of gives a phone book analogy of what DNS is and how it works. And so, but I did not have my tables in offline mode. Because I have 3 different At Games products. I have the Legends Ultimate, I have the Legends Pinball HD, and upstairs I have a Legends Mini. And every once in a while, I like to play pinball games on that Legends Mini upstairs in my office when I'm on break from working or whatever. So you put them in the offline mode, they're kind of locked to that cabinet. So I hadn't done it. Now I'm seriously considering locking my games to the Legends HD and then not worrying about playing pinball on the other 2 devices. So, but kudos for everybody hanging out there, hanging in there. I know a lot of people have got new 4K-Ps and were frustrated during those 3 or 4 days that it took for them to recover from whatever it was. I did my own research into their DNS backend and came up with a few interesting things that I saw. Regarding their time to lives. And so I don't know who's responsible for handling their DNS, if it's somebody they trust rather than keeping it in-house. But hopefully they've learned from this and will avoid it in the future. So, but I was glad to get my Legends HD back so I could play some Grinch. Let's go back and look at the chat here. Yep, Class of '81 is a favorite of mine as well. It came on the scene, I want to say after my Navy career. So it doesn't hold as much nostalgia, but it's still there. I remember the game. I remember popping quarters into it. So the artwork does hold some nostalgia for me. And people ask me, why didn't I get the black Miss Pac-Man Deluxe if I wanted Miss Pac-Man so bad? Well, that artwork sucks, simply. I do not like the black Pac-Man Deluxe. It sucks. They should have done the blue Pac-Man Deluxe. That's what they should have done. Had they done that, I would have gone for that instead of the Class of '81. But they didn't. Is Miss Pac-Man Deluxe coming? Who knows? Maybe this summer. Who knows? But for now, I'm going to have Class of '81, and I'm going to enjoy it because my gal likes Miss Pac-Man. And of course, I have Miss Pac-Man on other devices. I have that mini Miss Pac-Man, which my gal has played a couple of times and loves it. So if I want to see it on a bigger screen, I've got an HDMI cable over there that I can plug it into that TV right there. So, yep. Let's see. Rally X. I'm not sure about this. I too am a Rally X fan, and if one of these artwork websites come out with a Rally X artwork package for a GRS Buildacade, I may just get it, but I haven't seen it yet. So I'm not. I know it's on. I think it's. Well, I know it's on the Class of '81 because I've played it. So, but I don't know on any other Legends or Deluxe cabinets whether or not it's on there or not. Good to hear. I hope you had a better time with the gasket than I did, or if you skipped the gasket like I did, should be okay. But that gasket, that's one of the reasons why I kind of balked at getting the Class of 81 pub table, because I just didn't want to deal with that gasket again. It's a beautiful table, but my God, that was hard. Let's see. Andrew's here. Welcome. Welcome to the chat. Glad you're here with us today. Gallagher guy's here. Welcome. Welcome. I hope you're finishing up the move and getting settled. Good to see you. Let's see. Yeah, I've got a few things on order from Joe Zabo. They're all GRS Build-A-Cade related. My Donkey Kong Jr., and Popeye conversion kits with artwork. So 3 of my GRS Build-A-Cades are going to be held for that artwork. And so I'm doing 2. I may just go out and buy more GRS Build-A-Cades. Who knows? Make Glenn's day. I don't know how much longer he's going to offer those at 50% off. I kind of saw hints here and there that it might be to the end of the year. I don't know that for sure. I know I saw a couple of things that kind of indicated to me that it was going to be the deal wasn't going to be for very much longer. So who knows? I may just go out there and get a few more just to maybe give them out as presents down the line. But yeah. Gamer Fridge, hey, good to see you, man. Welcome. Yeah, my employer is very generous, or what is in particular was very generous this year for the holidays, and they close. They have to close for financial reasons during the holidays, and not just financial reasons, but logistical reasons. And so the way the holidays worked out this year, I'm actually off until January 2nd. I'm not setting foot back into work until January 2nd, and it's all paid for. So don't have to eat a vacation day. So they blessed us this year, and I'm very grateful to them, and very happy that they took care of their employees this year. So I'm going to enjoy the time off. I'm going to hopefully get some things done down here and play some games. Maybe I haven't done a live stream playing games yet, so maybe I'll figure that out and do that one day. Speaking of this, Andrew, I think it was Stock Jock that because he ordered behind me and behind Jason, Little Alien. Both Jason and I had problems with inverted monitors, which we had to take care of ourselves. Jason may have sent his back. I'm not sure. But I think when Stock Jock ordered his, by that time, I think they had sorted out the issues. And even with the drill holes, I think they got that fixed up. And so I think you'll be okay. I don't want to say you will, because obviously who knows which one they sent you, one that's fixed or one that's not. So I got through it, and I love it. I love it very much. Oh, let's see. Yeah, that gasket. Yeesh. The hardest part of that entire cabinet, really, I think. I had not seen this. I did not see his Friday night show. I did watch I didn't watch any content from Friday, I don't think. We were kind of busy yesterday, so and this morning I watched Nostalgia Power. And by the way, if you guys haven't checked out Nostalgia Power, it's usually 9 a.m. on Saturdays. That's a great show. I highly recommend it. Oh, is that what it is? Okay, so the GRS Buildicade may be 50% off until they're gone. Who knows? I know I want to pick up some more, so I might do that. Gramps Arcade, welcome to the chat. Appreciate you. Thumper, I think that for $10 you can order another reel from New Wave Toys, unless you don't want to pay the $10 and just print your own. But I haven't seen anybody do this yet. Not saying it hasn't been done, because I haven't really looked for this. I did look into getting a Zoltar, but I didn't pull the trigger. But I do want one. I was kind of hoping my gal would get me one for Christmas, but who knows? Okay. All right, we've made it through the chat. I don't have anything else to talk about. I think, though, let me get mic'd up here. Da-da-da-da-da. All right. Make sure this thing's turned on. Testing. Okay. Let's switch over to the mic. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yay. I can see the level. That's good. Okay. I am going to turn the house lights on, turn off the black lights. Quick side note. I saw last week that Party City had announced that they were closing, and someone had posted in one of the Facebook groups that Party City has some ultraviolet lights that are like 80% off. So if you want to get some cheap decor for your home arcade, check out Party City before they're gone forever. We were by one last night, but we didn't go in. Should have. All right, black light off. Go back to the camera. All right, I'm going to change the camera view here. What view should we go with? I think that's a good view to start. I can give you guys the full view for now until I decide to go, but turn on the house lights. Okay, so I've got my little tablet here so I could see the chat a little better this time. But the darn thing keeps going into screen save mode. Try this again. There we go. All right, I can see the chat. I can see the screen. Good. Let's hope this thing doesn't time out on me. All right. Switch to that view. Okay. So, class of 81 will eventually go right here. Now, I realize I don't have much room here, but, you know, if I got to wiggle, joust a little closer to Dig Dug to make more room, but it's going to set caddy corner right here. Because I don't have much room between the front of this cabinet and the where Golden Tea lands to extend the row all the way to the wall. It's really tight. I might stick it back there against Golden Tea and see if I have enough room to play Class of 81, but I don't know. I don't think that'll look as good. All right, so you may have noticed I've already unboxed everything. I'm not going to go through an unboxing. You've all of you here have gone through unboxings, know what an unboxing is like. One of the key things to look for when you're unboxing is any damage to the side panels. I did have what looked to be like a forklift ding on the side of the box, but it did not impact the side panels, so I'm good. And like I did last time in my last build, I'm skipping around and doing some pieces first, some pre-assembly. So I'm going to start with, there's only like three or four steps that we're going to get to first. So we're going to start with the kick plate and the coin door. So and you know, if I were really going to do this right, I would immediately do the coin door mod, you know, light up coin door mod, but I'll get to that eventually later. Caddy corner, kitty corner, I don't know. I'm actually from Indiana. Maybe it's an Indiana thing. I don't know. I was born and raised in Indianapolis, Indiana. And I lived and breathed the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and I still do. Go down there every year. It's like my second home there. This year, my brother, again, for those of you who haven't been on my streams a lot, my brother Ron and my brother Steve, all three of us have been photographers at the Speedway. Them two have been doing it for decades. I've been doing it for a decade, so just over a decade. So combined, we have like 60 years worth of photo experience at that track. And I don't have my screwdriver, the one tool I need. But I want to honor him by running the Indy Mini Half Marathon, which is the first Saturday in May. It's one of the first events that kick off the month of May in Indianapolis. So I'm going to run that mini, and then when part of the course is the actual speedway. So you get to run around the entire speedway, and I'm going to stop at his photo position, take a selfie, and you know, just a little bit of acknowledgement that I miss him, and he will be missed. And then I'm going to also kiss the bricks during when I get to the bricks running around that track. So I'm going to do that. I haven't signed up for it, but I got to get that done because they sell out. There is a limit to the amount of runners that they can sign up for that race. Okay. So we're we're just pre-assembling a few pieces that are in later steps. This is actually step 4, but I want to get this done before I lose free space on the table. And I have a back, you know, assembling this on the ground. I'm like almost 60, so getting down on, even though I'm physically fit, you know, my back still whines and bitches and moans whenever I try to get down on the ground and do something. So much as I can do, you know, up front, the better. So we've got the coin door mounted. All right, so that step's done. We'll set that piece aside. Now, that was step 4. Now we're going to do the monitor prep. So we've got our monitor and control panel assembly here, which I want to keep this on here so I don't hurt the joystick. All right, so we're going to do the brackets. Yeah, Thumper, I love ratchet screwdrivers. Fun fact, this is a Milwaukee tool ratchet screwdriver. Love Milwaukee tool, and I'm not just partial because it's a Milwaukee-based tool. It's actually a good little ratchet screwdriver. So, and it's got various other, you know, you got flathead, you got your Phillips, various sizes, and so various other, you know, you can. So I lost one. I lost mine. I didn't know where it went, so I went and bought another one. And don't you know what? I was in my Jeep down in Indianapolis for my brother's funeral last week, and I was rooting around in the back, in the floor of the back seat. And once you know what, I found my other screwdriver. So now I have 2. Yeah, I agree, Thumper. I do not like using a drill on these builds because you run the risk of going through the wood panel. All right, I need the C screws. Come on, get out of there. They don't want to come out of the package. No, you're not going to use us. All right, so let's get these put on. And with these brackets, I like to put the screw in and then guide it with the screwdriver into the hole. Just works easier that way for me. And as I said that, I screwed it up. Let's try it again. And take care not to put these on backwards like I did in my earlier builds. I don't have it ratcheting. There we go. All right. So we're going to prep the monitor here. I haven't looked at the plastic protector on the front to see if I need to unscrew screws there, but we'll look at it. Don't know what most of you guys got planned. I know football is going to be on later, so if you're football fans, I hope your favorite team does well. If you're the Bears or Vikings fan, I hope you lose. Sorry. I'm a Green Bay Packers fan. I'm also a Colts fan too because I'm from Indianapolis. The Colts arrived after I left Indianapolis and joined the Navy. It was like the year after I joined the Navy and already been in the Navy that the Colts moved from Baltimore. to Indianapolis. So I haven't really been in Indianapolis since then. So, but I'm, you know, still emotionally tied to that city, and so I root for the Colts whenever they play. They're going through some tough times, like all teams do eventually. Okay. Trying to be careful not to press down too hard on this thing, because you're putting pressure on the joystick. I don't like these the way they've redone the deluxes with the joysticks and buttons assembly a part of the monitor assembly. I'm sure they saved some money doing that. I'm sure that's one of the reasons and the factors why they went that route. But I don't have to like it. It's also harder to go back in and do stuff if you want to mod your buttons or your joystick. It's harder to do once the cabinet's assembled, because you kind of got to take the whole damn thing apart. I haven't done that yet, so those of you that have can let me know how much of a pain in the ass it was. Yeah, gamer fruit. Yeah. Lions got a great team this year. I think they're going to go all the way, really. Although we'll see. It's you know, with any sport, it's about what team is getting better towards the end of the season, right? I mean, if you're on fire at the end of the season, it doesn't matter if your record was 4-8. If you're firing on all cylinders at the end of the season, you can get through the playoffs and get to the Super Bowl. This arcade is so quiet when I turn down all the machines for the stream. Okay, so our brackets are in. Now I'm going to look at the front. Yes, I do have to do some. So this is not a step in the documentation. You all know that, but it's easier to pull away the plastic by loosening the screws prior to assembly. I only do like 1 or 2 times. And this is just so you can get the plastic around the screws, because if you pull the plastic with the screws attached, you're going to leave some plastic residue behind. This just helps you avoid that. All right. So we're going to carefully pull the plastic around the screw, just up enough to clear the screws. But I'll leave the plastic on, just, you know. And then I'll go back and I'll redo the screws. Again, not doing it too tight, because you want to crack the bezel, which I have done, which I have already said I've done on many streams. Just tight enough. So Miss Pac-Man, I have a lot of nostalgia for. Galaga, I have a lot of nostalgia for. But Galaga is my game, and Miss Pac-Man is hers. So she loves Miss Pac-Man. I'm actually, guys, she doesn't know this, and she doesn't watch my streams anyway, so she won't find out. she loves games, to play games on her phone. And one of the games is Sudoku. And I think that's on the Casino-cade. I actually considered buying a Casino-cade while it's on sale. Actually considered it. And I'm still considering it, really. And it wouldn't be for me. It would be for her. I'd play it, you know, consider it a novelty, but it would be upstairs where she could play it all the time. She wouldn't have to come down here and fire up the arcade all the time. Oh, man, I'm thirsty today. I did get a good workout in. Hockey Town, you had asked if I'd ever done that race before. The Indy Mini, no. I was signed up the year COVID hit, and then they canceled. So I did not run that race. This would be the first time I run the race. I have run the half that's later in the year. The gal and I ran that half a couple of years ago. What's that called? I forget. There's a name for it. Monumental. The Monumental. I ran the Monumental half with my gal. All right, so I think we got our monitor prep done. So I'm going to set this aside. Now I think we're moving on to the marquee. Yeah. So this would be step 9 in the manual. Again, we're bouncing around. So I need M. I got M here. I need B1 and B2. B1 and B2. So I need to put dowels in. So this will be the first time we're cracking open the dowels. And this seems like a smaller package of dowels than what they normally give you. Maybe it is. All right, B1, dowel there, dowel there, there, and there. B2 on either side, there and there. And then for M, right there, there, and on the other side. All right. And we got to put brackets on. Okay. So we're putting the marquee assembly with we're starting to put the marquee assembly. There's a couple other pieces we got to do, but okay, that's B1. Now for B2's bracket. Yeah, it's going to be emotional when I get to my brother's. And I don't know the exact route of I got to look online at an actual course map because I want to see. I assume we're going to go in off of 16th Street through the tunnel there, if you're familiar with Indy. And his spot was in the south chute there between turns 1 and 2. And I'm not sure how I'll be able to get to his spot. I'll find a way to make it work, but again, he was the photographer that captured the photos that was published everywhere of Scott Dixon's wreck in the South Chute in 2017. And that was for him, that was his crowning achievement moment in race photography over the years. And he's got many crash photos, but that one was the one that got him Photo of the Year for the Indianapolis Star. So I want to honor him, and that was his spot for many, many years. And sadly, the other photographer that was in that same spot with him from the Associated Press, that gentleman passed away a few years ago as well. So there's nobody in that spot. And actually, after the Scott Dixon wreck, and he hit the fence there, they shored up the fencing there, where photography through that fence is not as good as it was. So nobody really shoots there anymore. And my brother's health deteriorated, so he hasn't been back at the Speedway since before COVID. So, all right, so now we're going to assemble this. This will be step 10. So we've got our M piece here. Now we need to get B1 into the hole. Let me make sure I'm still in the view of the camera here. Come on. Can't see the hole. Okay. Get in a hole. There we go. Okay, so B1 is attached to M. Now we need to attach B2. This is where it gets tricky. I believe that's how I did it last time. Tricky, but not undoable. All right. This one I consider my Christmas present to myself. This they're all Christmas presents, right? I mean, am I right? Anything we buy for our home arcades, they're basically Christmas presents. Year round. All right. So that marquee assembly is done. Set that aside for now. And I think there was one other that I needed to do. Maybe not. Nope. That was it. So for the deluxe, all we needed to do was beforehand was the kick plate with the kick plate, the monitor, and the marquee assembly. All right, let's go back to step 1. And of course, those of you who have built these know that we always start with the G panel, right? That's the base. G panel. And there's my G panel right here. I'll get some dowels going in there. Okay, so now we're going to do all of our support panels. We got our 3Ks. Two dowels on either side of those. Let's just dump out the dowels here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's a little chip off this panel. I mean, it's not going to affect anything. It's just a little sliver that got chipped off. And it's a piece that's not going to be seen anyway, so I'm not worried about it. As long as the dowel hole's intact, which it is. So I'm not worried. All right. The Ks are done. Now we need our L piece. It's interesting. Looks like somebody started to drill a hole there, but it's not needed. I don't know. All right, 4 dowels for that. Again, we're on step 1. And then we need the 2 Ps. These are at the bottom of the top section. And these are the P panels, are the panels that will be joining the bottom to the top. So I did that wrong. The P panels only have 1 dowel on either side, and it's that hole in the middle there, kind of in the middle. It's kind of offset, but I had started to stick the dowels in the screw holes. All right, so we're done there. P panels are in. Stack these up over here. Step 1 done. Step 2. Here we go. So I'll stick this over here for now. Get the marquee out of the way. All right, we need the side panel D2. And that would be the Miss Pac-Man side with our blue artwork. I know you can't see it in the one camera view, but on the larger camera view, you can see the artwork on the cabinet. Again, if Arcade1Up had made a deluxe with this artwork, I'd have been all over it day 1. Okay. Got to get my orientation correct. Proper orientation of the G panel is also important. Before I do this, I need to open up my B screws, the big screws. B for big. So I have access to them. All right. So remember that the slot goes in the back. Come on. Well, why are you fighting me? There we go. You know, I had to make that more difficult than it should have been. First screw. Here we go. Just tight enough for me. I don't need it super tight, and I don't want to risk ratcheting the B-screw through the side panel wood. And I have done that. I did it with a drill in one of my earlier cabinets. Okay. All right. Step 2 complete. Step 3, 2K panels. All right, and as I said in previous streams, I usually put the side with the label facing inward. That's just my personal preference. You don't have to do that, I don't think. Am I doing that in the right place? Yes. Okay. Second piece. Get a B-screw. I have not decided whether I'm going to do a live stream on my 2 GRS Build-A-Cades that I'm going to be doing here very shortly. I already did a live stream on a GRS Build-A-Cade, but if I'm bored next week and you all want to tag along for the ride, maybe I'll fire up the cameras and the stream and just do it. Okay. Step 3 complete. Step 4 we did, which was to prepare the kick plate. So now we're going to insert that kick plate. All right. And now we need E2. But of course, that thing's going to... So E2 would be the Galaga side. There's the Galaga side. A lot easier to put the deluxes together with these side panels. That's in, that's in. Come on. That's in. Get a B-screw. Never really had much of a problem of the, I don't know what they're called, but the set screw being out of whack to where you couldn't tighten the B-screw. I had that in one of my cabinets early on. And we're in. No, not that one. Okay. And I'm in over here. People asked me this within the last week or two after I announced I had gotten this cab. Well, why get a Class of 81 when you already have Galaga? I got it for the Miss Pac-Man. You know, the nostalgia of the artwork. Yeah, Danny, I do. I favor the 80s cabs. That's me. That was the age of arcade greatness for me. But it doesn't mean I don't want like a 90s cab, like a Yoga Flame or some other cabinet or game title from that era. Like X-Men. I would totally have an X-Men if I could find one now. All right, step 5 done. Okay, we're done with the base. Base is really easy. Look at that, that's beautiful. I love that artwork. So we'll set this on the floor for now. And we'll begin to work on the upper. Moving right along. All right, we need panel D1. Here it is. The Miss Pac-Man side. There we go for you viewers at home. I love this artwork, always have. And Arcade1Up, if you're listening, I would have bought this in a deluxe had you made it. I don't want that crappy black Miss Pac-Man artwork. All right, so we need to put in our... So L goes on top. Right there. So we'll get that in there, use it as a kickstand. Screwdriver. Okay, there we go. Kickstand. Okay, we need our K, our last K, and 2 P's. So the K would go right here. All right. Now we need to do the P's. And I always get screwed up by the orientation here. So we got to make sure that we get it right. Because a part of it's going to extend out from the top so that it connects with the bottom, the base section. Suppose it's not as hard to orient once you're used to doing it. Okay. It's weird because some of these panels have holes drilled in them, and I know they're not going to be used. All right. So that's step 6, getting our support panels in. And we already did step 7, which was prep the monitor. Oh, shit. Do not rip the manual. All right, now we're going to seat the monitor. All right, I'm going to do this so you guys can see the monitor. So we'll grab our monitor assembly. Make sure we get this oriented correctly. Pull our plastic up a little bit so it can seat in there. There we go. Plastic is cleared. So let's check our hole. Hole alignment. There we go. Get some C-screws and get this monitor secured. I like when I get to this step, I like to just start the screws, just so I make sure I have the holes aligned correctly. And then I'll go back and tighten them. Careful not to knock the monitor over. That would be bad. Come on. Giving me fits. Oh, you can sense my frustration because the screw keeps dipping out. Now, I'm going to go back over here and go ahead and tighten. I'm having problems with that other side. Get in the hole, damn it. Come on. Get in the hole. Come on. There we go. All right, that monitor ain't going nowhere. Still got 8 viewers in the chat. I'm glad you're all here with me. I assume I'm one of them because I'm logged into YouTube on my tablet. So 7 of you. not counting myself. There, I finally got it in the hole. And I do have some Walmart LED strips that I will be putting on this thing at the end. Just for some LED accentuation. All right, that's in. So step 8 is done. We did step 9, which was assemble the marquee assembly. And step 10. Well, part of step 10 is to actually seat it. So let's finish up step 10 by putting the marquee assembly in. And we'll get the cables undone as well. Make sure my dowels haven't fallen out like one did. Crap. Crap on a cracker. Where'd it go? Bummer. I'll pull one from the... All right. Monitor assembly is in, or I mean the marquee assembly is in. Let's undo the tape. And I'll just go ahead and attach this since I'm over here. So I'm going to attach the speaker wire to the speaker port on the PCB. And then the marquee wire. The reason why I do this now is because once you button everything up, it's going to be harder to route that cable. It's going to be harder to get at the cable, period. So here we have marquee. Plug that into the marquee port. Glad you're still here, Ted. Okay, so step 10 is complete. Now we are moving on to step 11. We need our C panel, which is this panel over here. And we need 4 dowels. And the C panel goes make sure I get this right. Maybe should have waited on the wires until I got this routed. But make sure the plastic is pulled away from. Actually, it kind of looks like there's a bunch of dust there, but. All right, C panel is in. Step 11 is complete. Step 12 is the H panel. That's all of our Arcade1Up all of our Arcade1Up logos and serial number and all that jazz. that actually in there? Ow. Yeah, okay. That's better. All right. Hey, Merry Christmas, Arcade Luke. Welcome. Welcome, Big B73. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. I'm getting close to the end here. Step 12 is complete. Now we got to do our marquee and our end panel. Let's do the end panel first, which is your front plate. So that would go right there. Stay. We'll get the marquee. Beautiful marquee. Gotta peel the plastic off first, but that's one beautiful. That marquee is gorgeous. One of the reasons I love this cab too. All right. I actually have a scuff mark here. Guys, there's a scuff mark right here on the top, the marquee top. Now I could probably take a black Sharpie and fix that, but so that's a defect. I'm not going to whine about it. I can fix it with a Sharpie. I don't happen to have one down here. I don't think. Oh yeah, I do. A little bit of a defect right there, but it's not bad. Okay, so that was step 13, which was getting the marquee and the front panel in place. Now we need the side panel. So now we're up to the side panel. So we need panel E1, which is this one, which would be the Galaga side. I need this. Nope, that's not right. That's right. I'm going to lose the Santa hat for a second because I need this light really bad. Light comes in handy when you're doing the lineup here, especially in a dim lit area. Yeah, not quite. There we go. Monitor needed to be in place. Okay. H panel is in. Just make sure the marquee is in. Yep. Perfect. Okay. I'm in there, and I'm in there. So 2 more screws. All right. Santa hat back on, so step 14 is complete. We already routed the wires. And here we move to the actual assembly of the full cabinet. So we're going to do some shifting around here. Hey, bad guy, Merry Christmas to you as well. I'm looking forward to this Christmas. You know, I'm not expecting to get anything, but I had a really good year. So let's shift this camera around a little bit. Set the upper portion on the floor, and then we're going to clean up here a little bit. I'm missing a dowel. I still need to find a dowel. So I've got plenty of spare parts. Don't worry. I'll fix that right up. All right. Oh, don't step on the cabinet, Pete. Jeez. So we're going to take the table out. And move into the final stages of this build. Don't mind me just reorienting the camera. Sorry. Tables are, if you got room to work with a table inside your space, I get mine from Walmart in their table section. Fairly inexpensive. Great for yard sales if you ever do those. put the camera in there prematurely. Now I can't get out. Okay. All right. Join these puppies together, eh? Now, there's a little bit of a carpet imbalance, so this might be a little difficult, but oh, see, now I was going to forget this step right off the bat. What am I missing? Dowels. I always forget to put these on these deluxes. I always forget to put the dowels in. Let me take one more look to see if I can find the dowel that I lost. Nope. I have to go get one from parts. 1, 2, 3. So I need a fourth one. Spare parts. Arcade1Up spare parts. Handy dandy replacement dowel. Actually, on that side. All right, now we could slide this thing in. Ooh, that's not good. I need some B screws. A little bit of a scuff mark there too. I don't know if I did that or it was already there. Okay. That side is done. I really do need a vacuum down here. With all the assemblage I've done. All right. Now I got 3 more screws to put in on the side that was not exposed. As I said, this is probably the last cabinet I'll be buying for a while, unless some stellar deal comes along. I have interest on a couple of things on Marketplace. Who knows? But it's hard for me to transport already assembled cabs. So that's what's stopping me. All right, screws are in. Let's stand this puppy up, eh? Oh, Mr. Urban World, welcome to the chat. I'm sorry to hear that. I went through the same thing you did. I had to sell a bunch of cabs earlier in the year. So, you know, my goal in rebuilding this arcade was to focus on the cabs that gave me the most nostalgia. So maybe that's what you want to do. For me, that's Galaga, Pac-Man, Dig Dug, Joust, to some extent Golden Tee. Golden Tee is kind of outside my nostalgia window, but I love the look of that cab and I love the gameplay. So that was a must buy. Class of 81, I have some nostalgia for. So everything you see in my arcade is something I have most of the nostalgia for. So, and Danny, these are definitely indoor shoes. These were my running shoes. So just take you off on a sidetrack here. So I wear running shoes always. Now, my running shoes, I log 500 miles on those running shoes. Once I hit 500 miles, those shoes are retired and they become my walking shoes. So the shoes that you see on my feet now, those were my running shoes up until about a week and a half ago. And then I've got these very patriotic looking shoes now. But so yeah, my street shoes are my retired running shoes. That's how I cycle my shoes. And then once I'm done, once I rotate those out, I either donate them or toss them. I don't need them after that. So, all right, there she is, folks. Fully assembled. Well, not fully assembled. I don't have the ball top on and haven't taken the protective plastic off. So let's finish her up, eh? So we did step 15, which is put all the screws, join the two sides together. So now it wants us to finish off the screws in the back. So let's do that. Trying to be mindful of my camera angles here. So I got to basically do those monitor brackets and the side panel brackets. So gonna need C screws for this. Pretty much know all of the Arcade1Up parts lettering by heart now. I'm sure most of you do too. All right. See if I can do this with my Santa hat on. Nope. Nope. Take the Santa hat off. Boy, this got really loose, or I got a haircut. I did get a haircut for my brother's funeral. Okay. So we're attaching the monitor brackets on the other side, the side panel that was facing downwards, or no, upwards. during the build. Okay, these two are going to be a little bit tougher. There's the back of my hoodie. We'll run for cookies. And believe you me, I've eaten a lot of Christmas cookies this year. Tried to pace myself so it didn't affect my calorie count too much, but not always successful. But I have not bought any more Christmas cookies. I'm done this year. Man has his limits, you know. All right, monitor is attached. All right, so now we got to put the braces on. And we'll need some screws for that. Kind of the awkward pieces to work with. But what I like to do, same thing with the L brackets. I like to feed the screw through and then kind of guide it into place. Come on. Why is this screw wanting to strip? Don't be a bitch. It's not going to work either. And I like to do these lug nut style. Opposite each other. Again, awkward to do these braces. Boy, this wood is dirty. I mean, it's got like, I mean, it's on the inside, so I don't give a crap, but just dings and, I mean, all right, so the other side. This is going to be the really awkward one given I'm right-handed. Nope. You're not going to do that to me. Yay. Come on. Man, I apologize if I'm brushing the microphone here. This is an awkward position to be in. There it is. come on. Better luck with the other hole. God, my bit's too big for these screws. All right, 2 are in, 2 more to go. Well, that one went right in. Scary. All right, back to the troublesome one. Last one. Still being troublesome. I can see the hole. I know you're there. All right. Whew. Man. I'm thirsty. Where's my water? Okay. What do we got? Braces are in. Step 16 complete. Now, step 17 is the satisfying step of peeling the plastic. Booyah. Oh man, there's a booger in there. That's going to bug the hell out of me. Oh well. All right. All right. So the plastic's been pulled. Now we got to do the control panel. Yay, beautiful. Okay, next step is the dust protector and the ball top. Tightened. I use this tool right here, this wrench, to basically hold on to the joystick and tighten the ball. That's all you need to do. Just gotta be gentle and not have to, and not scratch it. All right, and I already did the marquee and the sound connection. All I got to do is power. So get our panel, and we'll so I'm feeding the power and snapping the power, external power, into place. Sometimes these are easy, sometimes they're a pain in the ass. Come on, just spin there, will you? Oh, Jesus. There we go. All right. This looks kind of short. So we're going to feed the cable and run it into the PCB power. All right. Gonna get my panel screws. And we'll be doing the LED application as well. That's personal preference. I like to put LED lights on the back of my cabinets. Okay. Okay, we did step 20, which was to feed the power cable through the back panel there. I'm not going to put the last panel up. Let's fire this up. Give her a test. I did not have my temporary power set up. I usually do. Normally, when my arcade was full size, I'd have a power strip down the middle, but I don't have arcades in the middle really. Where do I want to go with this? Back there. Okay, I'll leave that there. Okay, power cable. Let's get this power going. I really do need to do some cable management on the backs of my arcades because it's getting kind of messy. I always pride myself as a network administrator doing proper cable management and all that. At home, I'm just as terrible as everybody else. All right. Moment of truth, folks. Marquee lights up, and we've got the monitor. Ah, yes, the old wireless setup. Let's see if it'll pick up a wireless network. Excuse me while I enter the password. Okay. Now, is it going to let me use QD Arcade as the name? It's not available. QD Arcade dash 81. It's going to tell me that's used too. Oh. All right. So my leaderboards are all set up. So the games that we have here, let me see, check my orientation here. We've got Miss Pac-Man, of course, Dig Dug 2, Galaga, Galaga 88, Galaxian, one of my favorites. I love that game, even though it's probably, you know, surpassed by Galaga, but I love Galaxian. Mappy. Someone mentioned Rally X. There's Rally X. I love Rally X. Rolling Thunder. Rompers. Tower of Drudge. King and Balloon. And then back to Miss Pac-Man. Yay, Miss Pac-Man back in the Quarterdeck arcade. My gal's going to be so happy. If I take a picture of her playing it later, I'll make sure I post it. No, I don't know any patterns. I just play this game. Whoa! Ah! I was concentrating on getting the fruit. Stupid, stupid, stupid mistake. Joystick's a little better than the first class of 81 I had. Oh. Jesus. Bummer. They cornered me. Ah. Oh well. Gameplay looks pretty good. Let's shut her down and work on buttoning this thing up. Look at the chat. Hey, Jason, welcome to the chat, man. Appreciate you. Prince Finney, as Ted Adam Green has already explained, or no, as Hockey Town already explained, I had to sell a bunch of my cabinets earlier in the year. I had big ticket things like my dog needed a $2,000 surgery. My Jeep needed $2,000 in repairs. One other thing too, and it escapes me right now, that was like $1,000. So I had about $5,000 in expenses racked up in a very short period of time. And really, I don't like to go into debt if I don't have to. So what I do is, oh man, get this cable before I crimp it. What I do is, you know, if I got extraneous things to sell, things I don't need, and none of this stuff I need. None of these arcades are there for my personal enjoyment. So they were always considered things that I would let go of in an emergency. And I had an emergency this year. I had several. So yeah, so that's the story of that. So slowly but surely, I started to buy. I'm paying cash for these things now. So again, no debt incurred. So they're slowly, my arcade's slowly coming back. It's not anywhere near where it was, because I had cabinets all lining in the middle here. I don't have those cabinets anymore. So I had Simpsons, I had NFL Blitz, I had Yoga Flame, I had X-Men, a couple others. They're gone. So will I get them back? Maybe. They're not a priority. I've gotten the priority cabinets back that I wanted to get, so I'm pretty happy about that. So let's button this thing up. Now that I know it works. Oh, tight fit. Wow. This thing is complaining. That's the tightest fit that I've ever seen a back panel. Interesting. Okay. I appreciate everybody joining me and just watching along. There's football on, or it's coming on here shortly. I hope to have the things wrapped up by the time the first game starts. Do I watch football? No, because I don't have TV. I just have streaming services, and I'll watch the occasional game that's on like Paramount Plus or Amazon. But I don't have network television, so I'm out in the sticks, and there's a bunch of trees in between me and where the nearest high definition tower is, and so it's hard for me to get a signal. So then you say, well, why don't you just get like YouTube TV? Have you guys seen how much YouTube TV is? It's almost like cable. Why don't I just get cable, you know? Okay, back panels are on. What do I want to do next? Well, we're pretty much done with the documentation. That's all built. Oh, let's do that real quick. So I've got the screw cap covers. I know I'm not going to take this thing apart, so I'm going to go ahead and pop these in. Black. I still got screw cap covers to put on my Space Invaders Key 2 conversion. Running out of blacks. Just dump these all out. Well, they don't give you a green one. That would have made sense there. Come on, get in the hole. Come on. There we go. One more on this side. There we go. Okay. So now we got all of our blue ones. And that's, screw cap covers are one of the nice things that Arcade1Up finally did, aside from fixing their marquees. Pink. Didn't give me any yellow. That would have made sense there. All right, two more. Okay. All right. Screw cap covers are in. Now, let's do the fun part, eh? The LED strips. Okay. Check the chat real quick. Okay. All right. Let me get set up here for my LED strips. I'm going to get a couple of USB extensions. I'm going to need to get some more soon. I'm running out. Amazon sells these, and I've talked about them before, but I'll mention them again here. Amazon sells these USB extension cables. They're USB-A to USB-A, or USB-A female to USB-A male. And they're great for extending LED cords to your LED power source. I buy them in packs of 10 from Amazon. These are Amazon Basics USB 2.0 extension cords. And for LED lights, you only need a USB 2.0. You don't really need a USB 3.0. So I'll get two extensions out to use for my strips. Now, I've also talked about these before. I use two. And the reason why I use two is because I put an LED strip around the top panel, and then I put an LED strip around the bottom panel. That'll allow me to take the back panels off if I need to. And that way, because obviously if you crossed an LED strip across this little partition here, you're never going to be, well, you could, I guess, take the back panel off, but you run the risk of breaking the LED strip, you know, if one panel falls off or whatever. So it's just easier to work that LED light around the top panel and then work it around the bottom. And you'll see how I do it here in a second. I've illustrated it before on my streams. So those of you who have seen my previous builds know how I go about doing this. It's a little different on the legacies. So you only use one strip on the legacies. and the regular Arcade1Ups. And just rip these things open like Christmas morning. They put these little stickers on them. All right, so we're opening up this box. I'll open up both of them actually, get them open. So what comes in is just a plastic bag, and in the plastic bag should be everything you need. First of all, you've got your remote. And it takes 2 AAA batteries. Here's your remote. ONN. And it's got a battery compartment. The earlier versions of these did not have, well, they had a battery, but it was like a CR2032, I think, a watch battery. So, and you also get a cable management sticker thingy. So if you need to take some pressure off of it, which I do recommend in some cases, I'll probably use these in today's build. And then you get your actual LED strip on a wheel here. So we're going to open up this LED strip. And this goes really quick. Goes really quick. So basically your LED strip, as you unspool it, it has a strip, an adhesive strip backing that you peel away. And then I start in the lower left corner, about 1/4 inch away from the edge, and just smooth it. And try to keep it as straight as possible. So you don't need to be speed demon here. And just make sure you're applying pressure to get it stuck. And then I route it around above the screw, so you have room to get at the screw if you need to. Here, we're going to go 1/4 inch from the top. You got to kink it here in the corner to get it to turn. Simple enough to do. Hopefully y'all can see that. Yeah. So again, we kink it in the corner so we can get around the corner, turn the corner. And then again, 1/4 inch away from the edge. Now that's my preference. You might have your own. You might want to do it a full inch. You can do these however you want, really. This is just the way I do it. And obviously I'm going to have a little bit of extra. Ow, kink in my neck. So here on this top panel, the screw's close to the edge. So I'm going to work this above the screw. I'm going to turn the corner above the screw, the bottom screws, so I can still access the screws. And I'm going to get it as straight as possible. Okay. Now I'm just going to unspool the rest. And I'll show you what I do with the rest. So I'm going to get to my corner here. And I'm going to kink it and turn. But I'm going to go diagonal up the back. Okay. Just take off the rest of the adhesive. You got to kink it, so it's going to be a little tricky. So I don't quite have, so it's just going to go up the middle of the back there. It's a little crooked, but that's okay. All right, so the top one's done. And I have access to the screws. I can take the panel off if I need to. Now, this is where I talk about using the cable management, because if you don't take pressure off of this corner here, it's going to, the pressure of like a USB extension cable pulling at it is going to pull this away from the board. So what I like to do with the adhesive cable management piece, especially on these deluxes, it's what I've been doing on the deluxes, is I'll take this and like place it squarely in the middle on the panel, and then I'll just route this like right here, and then the USB extension will come here. And then when I need to take it apart, it's easy enough to disconnect. And so that's the first one. So we're gonna move this out of the way so I can do the bottom one. And it doesn't quite reach up there. So I need to a piece of tape. Temporary tape to hold that up. Painter's tape. Everybody in the arcade community that does mods, especially artwork, should have some painter's tape handy. So I'm just going to stick this up here so I can keep it out of the way while I do the bottom. All right, so we'll open up the bag for the bottom one. So where's the batteries? There's the batteries. So we're going to do the bottom section now. There's the remote. Some documentation, which you don't need. Spool, and then the batteries, and the cable management piece. All right. That's all garbage. Danny, I will light up the corn doors eventually. That'll be a winter project, maybe. I'm not going to do it today. All right. So I'm obviously going to have a lot more extra on this bottom panel because it's smaller. That's okay. We can work with extra. It's when we're short that's a pain in the ass. And again, I always do it. It's just personal preference. You can do it however you want. Always start from the lower left. Before I get any further. Again, 60-year-old man getting off the floor just sucks. There, get a better view. Okay, all right. So just same thing, just 1/4 inch off the side. That's not exact. That's my estimation of a 1/4 inch. And we're going to make sure we're leaving room for the screw. So I'm a 1/4 inch from the top of the bottom panel. Don't cover the screws. You need to be able to access the screws. Can't get in the corner here. 1/4 inch. And just to give, these are only $5. These 10-foot strands of LED lights at Walmart. ONN 10-footers, $5. So whenever I'm in Walmart, I always buy a couple because I never know when I'm going to have an application that needs it. If I'm going to pick up a cab that I need a light. Can't get on the bottom here. Oh, I need to get a different angle on this because this one's going to be tricky. So you still want to get to about 1/4 inch, but if you can't kink it right, then you might have to go higher. There, I got my kink. So 1/4 inch from the bottom. Let's. And now for the bottom one, what I do, you're about to see. I go in another square. So you can't see it from there. So what I do is I go up along the inside underneath the screw and then back down. So is that how I did it on Gallagher? Let me look on Gallagher. Oh, no, I went diagonal. Okay. All right, we'll do that. So I'm going to go diagonal. I'm probably going to have extra. Uh-oh. Crossing the streams. There we go. Okay, let's get our kink in here. And I'm going to go over the vent here, which is fine. But you don't want to cover that screw. Okay. Same thing at the top. You don't want to cover the screw. I'm going to have extra. So I'll just dip it down. I'll go over the top. I'll put it right there. A little extra in the middle for some accentuation in the middle. So the key in doing these LED lights is just avoid the screws and avoid the breaks so that you're able to take the panel off. So I'm going to do the cable management piece again. Just so I don't get any tension by the actual LED strip itself. Oh, don't drop it. Okay. And you want to take the tension off. I'm going to undo this. Oh, I broke it off because the adhesive. Stay on there. All right, so I've got my 2 LED lights mounted. Got lots of garbage here. Let's take care of that. But the garbage man loves me. Okay, so we Got our USB extension cords here. Pull this off, put it where it's supposed to be. And again, so now that I have this tension, you know, this cable is not, it's only going to tug right here. It's not going to tug right here where the LED strip is. So that's good. We got power there. Do the second one. We got power there. So now the good news is these remotes are on the same channel. So I'm going to use my existing remote on top of my Galaga. So you've got RGB and W. So you can go red, green, blue, and white. You can make them flash through the colors. You can make them strobe through the colors. Honestly, I don't think that's different from flash. Then you got fade. You can fade between the colors. It's all about your personal preference, how you want to do it. Or you can do a smooth transition. Like that. I generally lock them in on one color. You can also change the brightness. So let's set this to red. You can go lower in brightness if they're too bright. You got your off button and your on button. For Miss Pac-Man, I'll probably use a pink, maybe a blue. What do I got over there now? Red and green. Blue might be good. So I'll set it to blue. So that's it for the LEDs. I mean, your controller is very basic. So check the chat, and then we'll get this thing moved into place. All right. Let's disconnect our cables. I'm going to need them, though. Where's that painter's tape? So I'm going to move this into place, but I want to make sure I'm not tripping over wires here. So I'm going to just temporarily tape that up. And then we've got our power. Yeah, and it's going to go right here. And I may need to move some cabinets out of the way. We'll tilt just a little bit. All right. Don't hit cabinets. I just want to see something real quick. I'm going to line it up next to Golden Tea first. I'm going to move this back around. So obviously a chair couldn't go here, but a person could stand there and play. What do you guys think? Let's move this over. So what do you guys think about that arrangement? So just basically having it here, I could still stand here and play. Can even lean up against Joust if I wanted to. Or should I turn it and just have it like sit here diagonally? Let me know in the chat what you think. While you're ruminating over that, I will get a drink of water. I will tell you, I'm not particularly fond of this particular arrangement. No, I'm not going to no, that's not my personal preference. I do not like to lose the artwork. I need to see the artwork. So there's always going to be 5 inches between my cabinets, at least. I don't have a cabinet to put there now. But I'm not butting these things up against each other. The whole point of the nostalgia in this for me is the artwork. If I'm blocking the artwork, that ruins it for me. So I'll do this. I might set it back a little bit just to get it away from Golden Tea. How about that? Now, granted, people are gonna. I never have multiple people over anyway, but you know, let's say my gal wanted to play a game of Joust while I was playing, or she wanted to play Miss Pac-Man while I was playing Joust. Granted, I'd be standing over here; she'd still be fine. But what do you guys think about that? So Big B thinks I should do it the other way. That is kind of awkward. It's a good thing I got a little walkway back here that I can walk behind my cabs if I need to, at least on this side of the room. So you guys would, Bigby, at least Bigby would go this route. And it does afford more room to play. Whoever's playing Joust wouldn't be affected. Whoever's playing Golden Tee wouldn't be affected. I don't have room for another cab unless I extend the floor out further. So you guys like it better that way? So Ted Adam Green says it flows better the other way. I guess it just comes down to how I feel about it, I guess. It does flow better the other way. One more look. Yeah, it does flow better that way. And again, I'm not going to have a lot of people down here at any given time, so. I don't think I'm going to get any better than that, really. All right, let's light this thing up. This really isn't a good view. That's a better view of it. I don't like how close the control panels are, but I mean, I could go to 4 inches in between the cabinets, really. I could also move here, I'll turn the camera. I could also move the Legends Ultimate down more because there's a wide gap between Star Wars and the Legends Ultimate. That would give me more room. That's something to consider. I may play with it later. But let's go ahead and let's get it lit up. Let me get my power. And my USB. Running out of USB ports. All right, it remembers. So we got the LED lights going. Now let's get some cabinet power. Powered on. Well, the problem, Jason, with pushing, like I said to Danny, I don't want to push these cabinets together. I want to see the artwork. So did I lose my live? No, it just took it a while to load. I can't do that, Big B. Well, to the left of the Galaga cab, it's kind of butted up. I have a pole supporting my brace, my joist in the house. So I'd have to move the cabinet out further to move it further down. So I get what you're saying. That's something to consider. Move them out a little bit. Well, let's see. So I'm basically moving the Gallagher in front of the pole, moving it out by about 1.5 inches or so. I can move it back a little bit. I could even go down further if I wanted to, but I still want to have room to get back here. I hope I'm not crimping any cables. Guys are with me live while I do this. I got my Pong power here. So one thing I hate is I'm running a power cable across the rug to power my Pong table. Make sure I'm not crimping any cables. So there's still a big gap here, but if I make the adjustment over here, move my ultimate down a little bit, and then move the golden tee down a little bit, maybe I can still do something with that corner. What do you guys think? How about that? How about that? I can't zoom out any further here. Back up a little bit. So with it, with the class of 81 in the line there, as opposed to being yeah, you're right. I'm wondering if I can even move my Star Wars down just a hair. Still be able to play pinball. I haven't moved this thing in a while. All right. Still not enough to put another cab there comfortably. But I do still have a little leeway down here. And then could do what I was doing initially with the class of 81 and put a cabinet directly next. But I don't have a cab on the horizon, so I don't have anything being ordered. Yeah, gumball machine. That might be a good idea there. Actually, there was one for sale here locally that was actually pretty decent. And it was a deal. It was a steal, really. I wonder if it's still out there or somebody picked it up. Or, I could put the camera in there and do some live streaming. I love this game. I don't love it when that happens. Oh, bummer. Oh, seriously. I'm actually better at that game, I swear. Okay, so I'll leave it like this. I'll work on getting some more space here. I might do something with the Star Wars. I don't want to alter my Star Wars corner. That's Star Wars corner. But could I make adjustments? Could I maybe take Tempest and put it somewhere else? I have to move the artwork with it because that kind of goes with the cabinet. And then alter, put the pinball, move Star Wars next to the pinball, make the pinball flush against the wall, maybe. I don't know. I kind of like the way it looks now. So we'll play with it, I guess. Oh, boy. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Ted. Turn my black light back on. Wish I could get a wider shot, but maybe I can if I just go back further. There we go. Murderer's Row. nostalgia row, really. And I actually could move this over just an inch or so. Yeah. So, you know, what I could do is I could probably technically get 2 cabs in. I don't know. I tried that, didn't I? I don't think I can get another cabinet back there to where my floor ends. Yeah, my girlfriend's home. Okay. Well, so we did our class of 81 build, and hopefully second time will hold and I won't have to sell it. I want to sell it. I want my arcade to stay the way it is. So the key for me is to build up an emergency fund so that I can handle emergencies so I don't have to sell these things. So that's the key. More garbage. I got so many cardboard boxes to cut up here, it's ridiculous. I'll bring the camera back for a wider shot of the arcade so you can see how it's, you know, it's really starting to fill out nicely. That's as wide as it's going to get. So you're not going to see my minis, but. So Pong's all alone in the middle there. So what I'd like to do is start getting some of the beat 'em ups back. So, you know, X-Men would be at the top of the list. And Simpson would be next. We'd love to get an NBA Jam Deluxe. Not that 2-player one, though. I don't want that 2-player one. I don't like the way they did the back of it. All right. Oh, jukebox. That's an excellent idea. You know, Walmart had that Crossley jukebox, and sometimes they were letting it go for pennies, and I just didn't take advantage of it. X-Men is kind of sold out. I looked everywhere this morning. PD7 did his video. He recorded it yesterday, and he talked about, you know, the quantities on hand. Like Amazon only had like 8 left when he checked, I think it was. It's now gone from Amazon. It's also gone from Kohl's. Kohl's would have been the place I'd go get it because of the Kohl's cash. And it was there yesterday. I know because I saw it. This morning, it was no longer there. So I'm thinking X-Men is gone. But you never know. People might cancel their orders. And it might come back in stock briefly. That's what happened with, I think, Frogger. Frogger was gone. Then it came back for very briefly. Other people picked it up. But, well, we're now at 3 hours with this stream. You know, Jason, I've put so much into that Star Wars pinball, making it a 32-inch screen and all that. I don't know if I want to do that. I kind of like the artwork on it. He kind of is a prophet, PD7. Well, look, guys, I've gone on long enough, accomplished what I wanted to accomplish, which is build the class of 81. My gal is now home, so I'm going to go say hello to her, check in with her, see what her day was like. and we'll eat lunch together and figure out the rest of our day. So, guys, I can't say this enough. Have a Merry Christmas. Have a happy Christmas. Play with your toys. Play with your arcades. Have fun with them. I intend to take full advantage of this week and spend a lot of time down here just having fun. And maybe I'll stream some of it. You never know. Like I said, I've not done a live stream of actual gameplay. I don't think any of you guys have actually seen me play games unless I demoed them after a build like I just did today. But I love my little space down here that I can come and hang out in. Only thing I'm missing is a radio. I need to get a radio with Bluetooth speakers that I could put in each corner and just blast away Journey whenever I want to. So guys, please have a Merry Christmas. You know, I really hope that for each and every one of you. I hope you have a Happy New Year. I intend to do a show next weekend before New Year, so you'll see me next week. But yeah, have a great week, a safe week, a happy week, a time filled with family, friends. And God bless every one of you this year that has supported me. And if you like what I do, please hit the like button on this stream. Also hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. I like seeing that number go up. I have no aspirations. I don't care about numbers really, but when it goes up, I get a smile on my face. So yeah, so have a great week, everybody, and I'll see you next week. And remember, I got next.